Howdy, this is Matt from Understanding E. In this What Is section, we'll be covering what is an eBay listing template. Over to me in the flesh, and after that little short period, we're going to actually have a look at some live examples of eBay listing templates and see how they can help you.
So, what is an eBay listing template? In its most basic form, it's a framework for you, the seller or the merchant, to follow so you can input your data in a very, very simple format, and then also then present that information back to your buyers in a clean, laid out format. There's four main reasons why you would want to use an eBay template. Okay, the first one is that you can actually display your product or service information to your eBay buyers in a clear, well laid out format. The second, so I'm just referencing my screen over here, is so you can populate your actual listing templates very, very easily. So for example, if you've got, say, 5 bullet points and an image and a title and the bulk description, you can do that in a uniform format. But you can also include things like the payment information, the delivery information, any terms or returns information, and you can include those as stock paragraphs, and it saves you rewriting them each time. A byproduct of that, which is the third reason, is that you speed up your listing process. So it doesn't matter if you're using a auction management tool or just actually entering them into the sell your item form on eBay. The creation time, if you're using a template or framework to make your listings with, is going to help you format your information, and then you're putting the information in just the little places where you need to put the information rather than rewriting everything over and over again. And the final one, which is a real big one, is that if you ever need to change your layout or change the information in your actual active listings, because you're using a uniform format, you can actually change them much more quicker. So instead of making 20 edits, you're only making the 2 crucial edits to your actual listing itself. That's enough from me in the flesh. We're going to jump across to my screen. We'll have a look at some live listings. There's three examples which we've got here, and we're going to look at them into some great depth actually. Okay?
So what I've been and done is create a basic listing template, and I'll just quickly talk you through the elements. And again, this is on the understandinge.co.uk website. Is that I've been included a title there. So if you're selling a pair of shoes, then you could include brand new Nike trainers, for example, or whatever you needed there. You can include your main image in here if you paste the URL of the image in there. I've also included 4 bullet points there. Again, I'll just give you a little suggestion if you're kind of stuck. So ideally, I'm thinking of Amazon actually, is that it's always a good idea to include some bullet points about the items, so the customer, when they're viewing the actual listing itself, they can make a quick, informed decision on whether this item's right for them or not. And you'll see what I've got here is that you've got the item title, then we get into the image, and then if we've got the 5 killer bullet points about the actual product or service, then they'll either continue into the main description of the rest of the listing, or they'll bail out, and that's a whole different topic which I'll cover at a later date. So continuing, you can place your main description between the P tags, which are paragraph tags here. You can then include some extra images in there, and again, if you've only got 1 extra image, then perhaps just delete the extra 4 image tags in there. And again, really get into the topic of an eBay template is that as a framework, then you can include information which you use over and over again. So the postage information, so the stuff which you write about your postage and your delivery service and say costs, for example, then you can include as part of the template, but then change the pieces which you need to change. So in this short sentence, you've got UK shipping is, and then you can put your price in there. So if it's $1.99 shipping, or you could put in free if you wanted in there. And then if your European shipping is say $4.99 or $10.99 or whatever, then you can put your $10.99 in there, and then the payment information you can enter here. And again, just to give you a hand, I've just put the little PayPal logo in there too. And again, returns information, instead of writing it over and over again, put it into a template, even if it's a template in Notepad which you copy and paste from. The point of an eBay template is to speed up your actual listing process and make this information much more clearer to your buyers, and also to make your life easier, especially around revisions and stuff. Okay. Now, I did say that we were going to look at a couple of examples. There is my breakdown in the actual in the article itself, but let's go and actually have a look at them live. Now, this is from Unique Clothing. Okay, Unique Clothing. And I scroll down into the listing, and again, this looks kind of complicated, but actually, in essence, it's very simple. If you think about this entire outside piece here, the stuff down the right, the stuff down the left, the header piece, and most of this down at the bottom, it's all static information. So that's kind of like their big template, which makes it look pretty. They're not writing these categories in each time, but that's part of their template. And in here they've got the listing title. Now, these guys use a company called eSeller Pro, and there will be a keyword here in the background, and I'm not going to cover those in any great depth, other than that they put a special keyword or a special tag here, and it'll populate it from their inventory record in their back-end system. And then they've also got some keywords again here, and it will populate the main image. And then if these extra images exist, like I'm scrolling across now, then they'll also appear down the right hand side of the listing template. Then moving on, and again, this section here is just hard coded in their template. Okay, the actual information which they've been written for this template, besides the title, probably some item specifics as well, and some other bits and bobs, but the bulk of what they've actually written is only this piece here, which is their actual description piece itself. All the other information, such as brands, payment information, delivery, returns, the stuff down the left hand side, that's all in their template. They're not writing this each time, and this is why you can eBay templates are so powerful, is that you can focus on the real core information which you need to put in there, such as your description, your bullet points, great quality images, your titles, your eBay item specifics, and so on and so forth. And then the eBay template can then format this information either as pretty as this one, or as simple as the previous example. Okay, and then moving on to another example. This is Funky Diva Limited. On there, they got a little cross-selling module there, which is kind of cute. Now, I did complain in the article that I actually personally dislike a number one, which is Flash. You can see that, well, you've actually got flashes in the Flash element going across the top here, and they've also got a black background with white text. In fact, throw all those comments out the window. They are using an eBay template, which makes their life easier, and it's going to make your life easier as well. And again, for this seller, what they've been done, and again, ignoring the caps lock which they've got on, they've just been able to write the description about the product, get a great quality image in there, and get onto the next inventory record. And this is what eBay templates are about. It's about efficiency. You can just do the bits which you need and get out and get onto your next product and get into the other critical business product processes like sourcing stock, customer service, etc, etc. There is a nice little feature which they've got on here, is they've got a featured category section on the right hand side, and it cross relates into their other items which they've got. And the final example is for Clip Hair Limited, and this isn't as visually attractive as the other templates which we've seen, but even still, it's an eBay template, and it's making their life easier. The first section up here gives them an introduction into who Clip Hair are on there, and I really quite like this section. It's about them. There's 4 key points about their business, and again, it's just building that reassurance with your buyers that you aren't going to rip them off, you are going to be there if they've got help, and again, hassle-free returns and refunds. Again, one of the biggest concerns for your buyers is that what happens if this item isn't right for me? Are they going to be there to support me? And again, these kind of critical questions are answered in here. And then moving down, and they've got their description. They're using little tables in which they've got in here as well, and tables are fantastic for displaying product item specifics such as total width or weights in there. And then again, they're not writing this item over and over again, they're just including it in their template, so they can write it the once and then they can reuse it over and over again. And again, just quickly on the topic of tables, you can see that they've got deliveries timetable in here. It's not the best looking table ever created, but it's there. They've only had to do this once, and they've got the critical information in there. So if I'm in the UK, then I can have it. If I choose next day delivery, it's within 24 hours guaranteed, and first class 1 to 2 working days, and then for my international ones. And again, this is great if you're getting a lot of international buyers, or you want to promote your items to international buyers. Tell them the country which they're coming, which they're in, and how long the item will take to arrive with them, and the cost as well, if you can. Okay, and then there's a little footer section on there. So that kind of concludes our eBay listing template section. I hope I've been able to give you a guide of what an eBay listing template is and how it can help you. And I've also included a couple of examples. If you've got any comments or suggestions on this video, just pop them in the comments box below. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye bye.